The discipline of Higher Education Studies, located at the School of Education, College of Humanities, welcomes the class of 2021 to the postgraduate diploma in higher education. I am Professor Saras Reddy, and I am the academic coordinator for the program. The rationale for the program. South African higher education has experienced many changes such as massification, diversification, and transformation, among others, over the past decade. The need for highly skilled, innovative academics to work in this transforming milieu has grown exponentially. Generally, South African universities' academic staff members were hired on the strengths of their discipline expertise, and there was no formal education training nor qualifications required for them to become lecturers. Consequently, the Department of Higher Education and Training White Paper for Post-School Education and Training noted that there was a need for assisting academics to improve their qualifications through promoting the professionalization of lecturers, instructors, and trainers. The PGDip in higher education is a response to PSET and is designed to build the competence of expert higher education academic staff, focusing on strengthening and consolidating their knowledge of teaching, learning, assessments, and designing and evaluating curricula in the higher education context. It further aims to develop their capacity as educational researchers who are aware of the diversity and policies that govern higher education institutions. This program leads to the Master of Education qualifications for participants who wish to enhance their scholarship in higher education, either in teaching and learning or professional services. The program outcomes. On completion of the PGDip in higher ed, the student will be able to explore higher education as a discipline and sector in South Africa, with particular attention to its policy and social context, understand research paradigms, approaches, and methods common in higher education research. Furthermore, students will be provided with the opportunity to identify an aspect of research in higher education that connects with their own involvement in the sector, increase their ability to use workplace experiences to further develop and to document their knowledge and skills in relation to higher education, explore and demonstrate understanding of student diversity and how diverse students experience and develop within higher education, provide an overview of higher education curricula characterized by structural and ideological differences in a changing policy and stakeholder environment, develop and critique aspects of the curriculum they are working with, demonstrate a theoretical understanding of the diverse practices in teaching and learning, examine the range of assessment possibilities, the effects of assessment on learning, and to be able to design different assessment processes. Examine, design, and use pedagogy that includes the use of technology in the classroom in a variety of ways. Demonstrate an understanding of the various approaches and methods of postgraduate supervision in higher education. Be able to critically examine different models and styles of postgraduate situation, as well as the broader postgraduate environment in relation to influences on practice. Be able to critique an aspect of individual practice with a view to improve teaching and learning of postgraduate students. Outline of all modules, core and elective, that constitute the program. The core modules are as follows: higher education policy and context, practice, reflection, and portfolio development in higher education, researching in higher education. The elective modules are as follows: designing and evaluating curricula in higher education, teaching and learning in higher education, assessing learning in higher education, supervising research in higher education, diversity and the student in higher education, technology for higher education pedagogy. What is offered in the discipline of higher education studies? The discipline of higher education studies is part of the School of Education and cluster of Education and Development Studies. It is located on the Edgewood campus, Pinetown. Some of its key roles are to promote higher education as a field of scholarship, to conduct institutional research, and to assist with the academic professional development of university academics and administrators. As such, the formal academic programs that are offered by the discipline are designed to prepare staff working in higher education institutions to deal with issues such as massification, diversification, decolonization of the curriculum, as well as to engage in innovative pedagogical and assessment strategies, among others. The programs on offer follow on the next slide. Programs offered by Higher Education Studies. The Postgraduate Diploma in Higher Education. This is an honors level NQF Level 8 equivalent program offered in the School of Education College of Humanities. Students register for 8 16-credit modules. The program aims to contribute to the professional development of higher education practitioners with a focus on teaching and learning. The Master of Education in Higher Education Teaching and Learning. This is a 192-credit master's level program pitched at NQF Level 9 with the aim of enhancing the scholarship in teaching and learning in higher education. The Master of Education in Higher Education Student and Professional Services. This is a 192-credit master's level program pitched at NQF Level 9 with the aim of enhancing the co-curricular education and development of support and administrative services staff in higher education. The Master of Education in Higher Education by Research. A research master's degree by full dissertation comprises a single 240-credit dissertation in an area of higher education. The dissertation is supervised by one of the academic staff members in the field. Students would engage substantively in a chosen higher education research focus area, thereby contributing to the advancement of knowledge in the domain. The PhD in Higher Education. The PhD program encourages participants to conduct research in higher education from various perspectives. Topics may include aspects of teaching and learning, leadership and management, issues relating to education in disciplines, and institutional research. Students are assisted by attending regular cohort supervision meetings, approximately 6 weekends per year spread over 3 years, as well as working with their individual supervisors. Members of the discipline comprise of myself, Professor Saras Reddy. I'm also the academic leader for the Cluster of Education and Development Studies. My office is located in the Ellen Kuzwayo Building, Room 28, Edgewood Campus. My email address is reddys15, that is reddys15 @ukzn.ac.za. My telephone number is 031-260-2415. Professor Michael Samuel's office is in the main tutorial building, CS111, located on the Edgewood campus. His email address is samuelm, that is SAMUELM, @ukzn.ac.za. His telephone number is 031-260-1859. Professor Damchu Tefera is located at the Shepston Building, Level 3, Howard College campus. His email address is tefera, that is TEFERRA, @ukzn.ac.za. The office number is 031-260-8578. Dr. Toko Mnisi is the discipline coordinator. Her office is located at the Ellen Kuzwayo Building, Room 25, Edgewood campus. Her email address is mnisi, that is MNISI, @ukzn.ac.za. Her telephone number is 031-260-2765. The modules to be offered in 2021 are as follows. Semester 1, Researching in Higher Education, facilitated by Professor Saras Reddy. Teaching and Learning in Higher Education, facilitated by Dr. Toko Mnisi. Supervising Research in Higher Education, facilitated by Professor Damchu Tefera. And Higher Education, Context and Policy, facilitated by Professor Michael Samuel. The Semester 2 offerings are as follows. Designing and Evaluating Curricula in Higher Education, facilitated by Professor Michael Samuel. practice reflection and portfolio development, facilitated by Dr. Toko Mnisi, technology in higher education, facilitated by Professor Damchu Tefera, and assessing learning in higher education, facilitated by Professor Saras Reddy. Now, the program consists of 3 core modules and 8 electives that are offered over a 2-year period. Therefore, my advice is for students to select 1 core module and 1 elective per semester over the 2 years.